Fairy's eyes weren't like her friends. Theirs were big and round, like shining marbles, while hers were like slivers of the moon, stretching up towards the sun. At school, she'd sometimes feel a little alone, a little different, like a single star in a sky full of round, bright moons. One afternoon, she walked home with her head hanging low, her special eyes feeling heavy. But as she stepped through the door, the scent of jasmine tea and home filled the air. There was Mama, her eyes crinkling with a smile that reached all the way to her temples. There was Emma, her grandmother, her eyes holding stories deep as the ocean. And there was little Mai Mai, her baby sister, whose eyes were tiny, joyful crescents, just like hers. Mama knelt down, her gentle fingers tracing the shape of Fairy's eyes. "My darling," she whispered, "you have my eyes. Eyes that kiss in the corners and glow like warm tea." Fairy looked from her Mama to her Emma to her Mai Mai. It was true. They all had the same beautiful eyes, eyes that held the light in a special way. Emma pulled Fairy onto her lap, her voice a soft, comforting hum. She told stories of their family, of ancestors who were brave and strong, artists and dreamers, whose spirits flowed through generations like a long, winding river. "Our eyes," Emma said, "have seen mountains and dynasties. They have laughed with joy and wept with resilience. They carry the spirit of the phoenix and the grace of the dragon." With every story, Fairy felt a little taller, a little brighter. The words wrapped around her like a warm blanket. She wasn't just Fairy anymore. She was part of something ancient and powerful. Later that evening, she stood before the mirror. She looked closely at her reflection, really looked. She saw her eyes, not as different, but as her own special inheritance. They were Mama's eyes. They were Amma's eyes. They were the eyes of queens and warriors. They kissed in the corners and glowed with the light of 1,000 stories. And in that moment, Fairy knew her eyes were the most beautiful eyes in the whole wide world. They were her magic. They were her home.